YouTube, what's the deal, man? Welcome back to my channel. And again, I know guys, I haven't uploaded in a few days and I'm sorry about that, but we back up to the regular grind, man. And just we just getting back to the grind. And as you've seen from this video, man, we doing another aim tips video for all my beginner players out there on console. I got you guys. I'm giving you guys 5 tips in this video for you to improve your aim somehow, or for you to better your play style in the game. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, make sure to go follow all my social media links down in the description below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 500 subscribers. I think we're just hitting around 400 after this video is going to be uploaded. So make sure you guys keep hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure to like this video so it boosts and helps the YouTube algorithm, so we can get my videos up to the top so more people can see them and we can spread more awareness for console players, getting them good tips and getting them accustomed to playing this game. All right, and as always, enjoy this video and I'm out, man. Let's get it. Alright, y'all, starting this video off, one tip for beginners learning how to aim better in the game: lead your shots. Alright, and for this one, in the game, leading your shots is key to hitting shots on people past 60 meters, and the majority of your fights happen within 100 meters in my opinion. So most of the time you're gonna have to lead your shots regardless. There's a lot of close range fights, but more often than not you're gonna be fighting people at around 30 to 70 meters, around that area. So leading your shots is going to be key for you hitting more gunshots in the game, guys. For instance, so you have people in this game that do just like how I pop shot. There's people that also strafe, so they just strafe left to right, left to right, left to right. So if you're within like 30 meters, then it's not going to be a problem for you to actually just hit a shot on point on them. But if you're beyond 30 meters to like 40, 50 and 60 meters, you're going to have to lead a little bit to where they're going to be instead of for exactly where they are. And this game relies heavy on bullet speed. The only thing I can compare it to is PUBG in that aspect of the game. So like in PUBG, it happens to do a lot with bullet speed as well. So there's always people you have to lead your shots, and it's not a hit scan or a hit detection. It's just you have to lead your shots in order for you to hit them. All right, guys. And also, if you make it'll make you a better scope player if you guys learn how to lead your shots early in the game, because most of the time once you're looking through a scope, you're gonna have to lead shots because they're gonna be too far in front of you for you to even be able to just take the shot right on. Going into number 2, guys, number 2, settings. All right, and this is a big one for you guys. Now, how to find your right settings is, I typically have a rule of thumb where is, if you can't make a full 360 with 1 second of dark side, then your sensitivity is too slow, very slow. You have to be able to make a full 360. That's just the base where you need to start at, because if you don't work with fast settings often, then it's a little bit harder to do. But yeah, you're gonna have to be able to do that if you want to be successful at this game. Your settings cannot be too slow. Also, just to get used to your settings, play a little quick quick plays, or even play training modes and practice on zombies, because using shots while you're using aim assist, or if you're running gunslinger or hunter, those are the 2 that you should figure out. I personally use gunslinger and think it's easier to get used to the game on gunslinger rather than just being on hunter, but it's personal preference, so whatever you guys do, it doesn't matter. But you want to make sure you get used to your settings. In doing that, you have to use training modes and also using quick play before you just go into bounty hunting. You just start hunting right away, because you want to be able to get used to those settings and not feel like those settings are super high and just going in there and dying uselessly playing when you're not fully ready to go. Also, your settings should look like mine's on the screen right now, around that area. Like I said, my rule of thumb is you make sure you can do a full 360 with your dark sight in 1 second, then that's where your base should be at. And then I always increase my settings little by little, especially when the new update came out and they switched the settings again. I had to change them to what I have now. I had to just up my ante a little bit more, because playing faster sensitivities will only help you, especially when you're snapshotting, and either way when you're leading. And because the game is, I play it a little bit faster every time the new update comes out. I played a little bit faster. Then you just always got to change your settings. So always make sure to rule of thumb, always make sure you can do 1 full 360 with dark side with 1 second. That's around roughly what I do. And even if a sense seems fast, it will only do you better, because the game in this game, guys, micro adjustments are gonna win you the game, because literally the hitbox in this game is a lot different than any other game. So the smallest edge of a person's body won't count towards a hit, and because there's arm and leg and limb damage and toe damage and fucking there's finger damage, like there's a lot of parts of the body where you can hit, but you can be not even a millimeter off and they won't give you the hit for it. So it's a lot harder. Guys, going into number 3, snapshotting. Now I know what you're gonna say. Okay, oh, you snapshot. I've gotten a lot of hate for snapshotting and using aim assist because it's just easier for me to use aim assist. So I use it and I got the hang of it, and I really kind of master snapshotting. So I'm pretty enjoyable for me to use, and it makes me a better player. Also, so how to snapshot? All you have to do when you snapshot, and if you're using gunslinger, it's a lot harder without using gunslinger if you're on hunter. So what you do is you're gonna, when you're pushing a teammate or pushing somebody or anybody, and you're pushing a zombie, whatever you're doing, you have to stop full sprint. You want to hold in the L2, and then you're basically quick scoping like in COD. It's just going to be a quick scope, but because the aim's mechanics with aim assist, it kind of snaps you onto the player a little bit, but you do have to adjust. Your target has to be right in the middle of your crosshairs. So if your crosshairs, if they're even a little bit to the right or you're a little bit to the left, it's not going to snap on to their body. It's just going to go near them or something like that. You have to be directly in the middle. And every time I take a snapshot, what you will notice in this video, my shot, they're always in the middle of my crosshair, the direct middle, and that's when my shot can snap near them. And I still make micro adjustments. Like I was saying before, I make micro adjustments with my R3 with my other analog stick, because it's never perfect. It doesn't just snap on perfectly unless they're not moving at all, and if they're just standing still, then it'll do it. But even then, it'll go too high, or it won't just fully hit on them. So you always got to make those micro adjustments, and that's why aiming with your right analog stick, it also helps to get used to aiming like that. Also, I do snapshotting just because it's a lot easier to get the hang of in the beginning. So for newer players, this will be monumental for you guys to learn how to do this. Even if you end up turning aim assist off before that, after you get the hang of the game and after you're really good at the game, then that's different. But getting used to it in the beginning, snapshotting is going to help you guys out a lot. And it's most effective, guys, within anything past 100 meters. It's really hard to hit, because it's just the game doesn't, first of all, it doesn't render in most of the time after like 150 meters. So most of the time you won't even be able to see that far. And also, when you guys do snapshotting, you want to typically stay around like under 100 meters for sure, because anything after that, your crosshairs, they're going to seem too wide and the character is going to be too small for you to actually be directly in the middle. I've done it sometimes, but it's really hard to do. So I would say within 100 meters, around like 90 at most, all the way down to point blank. And it's really good for shotgun players. So if you start this game off, I would typically recommend using the Romero to start off with snapshotting, because that's what I started with. I started off maining Romero uppercut, and then I branched to rifles after like the 4th prestige, and after I felt like I needed that range, because I was able to use the uppercut effectively with snapshotting, and I was like, okay, if I can duplicate this with the rifle, then I could 2-tap. And going into 2-tapping right now, 2-tapping is another good aspect of the game with snapshotting. So what 2-tapping is when you take your first snapshot, you quickly hit your triangle trick, and then your triangle, and then you swap and do the exact same method right after that to hit a second shot. And in this game, if you're using an uppercut with any rifle, it's going to be there's only 2 bullets that you need to hit those 2 bullets for you to be able to kill them. So and 2-tapping is really effective from pretty much any range, depending on the rifle that you're using, because the uppercut pretty much it's a substantial amount of damage no matter what range you're at. So as long as you hit your first shot, you should be able to finish off with your second. Also, stick and move. Sticking and moving is really important in this game. And what I mean by that is, like in boxing, when you have boxers that are typically really moving around mostly, and then they just take a jab and then they constantly move, same thing applies in this game. What I do is, when I take my first pop shot, if I don't hit my first pop shot, I'm not just gonna instantly try to go for a 2-tap. If they're pretty far away, I'm gonna just take a shot, and then I'm gonna move to the right as soon as I take my first shot, because I know that if I miss that shot, then they're gonna have their crosshairs probably right on me, or they're gonna have their sight right on me, and I'm just gonna be not moving. And after the update, there is a handicap in place for people. When you take your first shot and you're still aimed in after you take your first shot, you cannot sprint after that for about like a second and a half or maybe 2 seconds. So it's really good to just pop and move, but there is a way to bypass that, and I found that out. What you do is basically, when you're trying to two-tap, how you switch to your secondary gun. Once you switch to your secondary gun, that cancels out the movement. So if you take a shot, switch your secondary, and then start running, you can sprint right after. So that's the way to get rid of it. Canceling the little sprint glitch after you take a shot with your rifle. So yeah, moving on to my last and final tip for you guys is your loadout. Now, this may seem like it's a little bit harder because you're trying to get good so you can unlock all these weapons, but honestly, finding your ideal loadout, finding your favorite loadout gets more comfortable with your favorite loadouts, if that makes any sense. So like, if you're able to find your favorite guns to use and you just consistently use those guns, then you're gonna know your loadout like the back of your hand. Like for instance, if I know I usually run frag bomb on my tool set. Like, making sure your tool sets stay the same no matter what, like you don't switch what slots it's on, that way you know where everything is always supposed to be. It helps you out in these close engagements. Sorry guys, it helps you out in these close engagements, especially when you're in a really hectic fight. Say you get 2 people knocked, but this third person, they're all pushing you at the same time. You somehow get 2 of them knocked, and you don't have any bullets left in your gun. You quickly swap to your knife because it's on your quick swap, and then you're able to fight that person off, and you knife him in the head, and you just kill him right instantly. Like those type of situations when it's really hectic, knowing your binds by muscle memory really helps you out in the end of the thing. It really helps you out. And finding the guns that you're better with using, like you're not going to run shotguns if you're really good with long ammo weapons, just because you're going to be used to that distance at fighting, and now fighting close range is neutral territory for anybody else. So it's not a lot of luck in your favor. So make sure you guys use your personal favorite loadouts consistently. If you guys want a guide to some loadouts that are really good in the game, I have those in the description below. And just make sure you guys just practice these few steps, as long as you practice them in quick play or practice them in training mode. And I would say take as many fights as possible, guys. Honestly, when people go in games and they just get bounty and leave without getting any kills, like say I'll get 9 kills, right, but I only get 1 bounty because the other team just quickly extracted it doesn't help you at all. It mostly frustrates me because it's like there's no way for you to get better without taking L's or without dying, and I push every team, so it's like the same thing happens for me. Every death is an experience and something for me to grow on. Same thing with everybody else, and that's every new game you play. You want to take a lot of deaths, even if your KD is going down. My KD was terrible in the beginning. I had like a 1 KD in the beginning, but I just kept playing and I kept dying, and it slowly improved, and my KD improved, and now it's at a 3.53. Like, so just make sure you guys consistently take fights and don't be afraid to die, because being afraid to die is just going to cause you more havoc, and it's just going to put you in more stress, and in those stressful situations you're going to mess up. So just take more fights, and make sure you practice what settings your favorite and your favorite loadout, guys, and you will be perfectly fine, and you will just improve from the top. And that's going to be it for this video, man. If you guys like the tips that I brought in front of you, make sure you guys hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I have videos dropping every week. So make sure you guys support your boy. And as always, guys, man, nice things coming at y'all with another banger video, and I'm out, man. Peace. You gotta say, bro, do it. I'm like, oh, never mind. I listened. She was at me. I couldn't do nothing about it. She was right on me.
He's at 90. Bottom.
I killed him.
Oh, he's dead. Nice.
Bitch.
There's another one over there.
You're goated.
One more, right?
Dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Killed the one on him. Where's the other one at?
I killed the one here and the one all the way in the back, further back, like the next,
You sure you killed her?
thing.
Both of them are back?
Yeah,
Are dead?
both of them are dead, dude. They're dead. He's the last one.
Alright. I killed that last guy then. Like, look at how much trouble I just had killing 0.3 KDs.
Oh, that guy's dead? Yeah.
Yo, there's somebody else alive, bro. Up top.
Killed him. Oh, no,
Up top.
No. You're right.
Dead. Got him.